How do we determine expertise in this day and age? Well, the old school way of doing it was based on a college degree. If you had a college degree in something, at certain levels, you were a certain amount of experts. You had a bachelor's, you had a certain working knowledge, you had a master's, you were definitely in a more advanced, and then obviously the highest level would be a doctorate. So that's like an old school way of looking at things. But nowadays, with the web, many people are talking on many different subjects. And how do we determine whether they're an expert or not? Well, there is the old adage about 10,000 hours equals an expert, and I think that's a pretty good guideline to go by. So that's how I would wade through whether or not somebody is qualified to speak on a particular subject for more than one particular thing. So I think any amateur, anybody who doesn't know anything about any industry could potentially stumble upon some good information, maybe one or two times. But if you want to be an expert on a field and speak about multiple different subjects in a particular field, I think you do need to be an expert in order to be qualified to do that. And the qualifications are like the 10,000 hours. Do you have 10,000 hours in it, or over 10 years experience is kind of another rough way to look at it. So I want to give you my background and why I'm qualified to speak about web design, because that's what I make my videos about. I've got hundreds and hundreds of videos about web design. So I started being a web developer working on the web in 2007. So I have like over 15 years experience. And if we calculate the hours out, it's over 25,000 hours in experience on web design. So that puts me in a unique position to be able to speak about web design. Over the last 15 years, I've seen all the different trends come and go, and I can really talk about it, what's going on now, because I have the hours, I have the background, I have the experience, I have the knowledge. So that puts me as an expert in that field. And I think it's really important to be able to qualify and to look at, what does make somebody an expert. And for me particularly, I always, I heard about this philosophy, which is like narrow but deep. And I don't know if you ever heard about this before, but it's basically like picking a field of focus. For me, it was web design and search engine, everything around web design, and going deep, which means that I've been studying web design since 2007. So, I don't take on any other, what would be considered hobbies or like side projects. I don't make money off of anything besides web design since I started my company since 2013, and I do that on purpose. I could start all kinds of side projects. I have a web development company, so we could spin up store. We could do all kinds of stuff. We could do anything we want, really, because we have a marketing company. But I make all my revenue and I focus all my time just on web design because I want to be the best in it and be the most expert in it. So that is how I would look to gauge whether someone's knowledge is an expertise level or if they're just an amateur kind of spitballing on a subject. Do they have over 10,000 hours? Do they have over 10 years experience? And do they do this 100%, or are they dabbling in all kinds of different things? So I would look for someone who qualifies on those three levels, and I would look for their opinion on things. And that's how I would kind of look at it in this day and age in the digital world. Bar them having a specific type of college degree that qualifies them as well. Of course, that always would validate them as well. But hopefully this is helpful. Definitely comment down below on what level of expertise in your field you're at, how many hours you've done, how many years you've done. Do you dabble in other things, or are you 100% focused on your core so that you can be the best you possibly can be in your particular field? I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching my videos. As always, I'll catch you on the next one. This is Joe Field. Talk to you soon.